Hello, it's great that you are here and interested in learning more about composing with interval reflections. This composition technique is definitely unconventional. It makes you leave the scale, but to me, that's where the beauty comes from. As artists, we want the music we compose to stand out and be unique. First, we want to pick our reflection axis. As usual, let's keep things simple and easy, so I picked middle C, and this line will become the center of our attention in a second. Next, we write a simple line and omit the middle C. This ensures a clean reflection. We want to determine the distance of each note to the reflection axis, that is, the middle C. I write down the chromatic steps, which will become important in the next step. From C to F sharp, it's 6 chromatic steps. From C to G, that's 7 chromatic steps. The remaining ones are 9 and 10. Now it's time to reflect the intervals on the axis. If we went up 6, we now want to go down the same distance from the axis. 7 up equals 7 down, and so on. Simply flip the direction of your movement and keep the interval the same. Let's listen to this example. Now you also start seeing why this technique puts you off the scale. We started with an F sharp, but also used the natural F. So, although we just followed a simple procedure, the scale is not really clear anymore. But we know exactly how we got here, right? So, it's all good. We can even make our top line thicker using a second voice in the treble. And this second line would translate around the axis in the same manner. Here's what it sounds like. One quick word about how I use accidentals. If there's no particular scale, I prefer using flats for descending lines as they visualize the overall direction. That's why I wrote the G flat down here and the F sharp in the treble. Now, let's listen to this exact reflection in a more musical context. I changed the rhythms here and there, but the core idea remains untouched. Nice introduction. Up to this point, I followed strict reflection around the axis. While that's a good starting point, it's just a guideline. Let's pick a simple 3-note motif and determine the horizontal distances from one note to the next. That gives me the horizontal formula, which is an inspiring source for related musical ideas. From here we can reflect the formula and go down by 1 and 3, but this time I picked the starting note to my liking and didn't stick to any axis. Let's use the natural B for the reflection. And to make things more interesting, let's also use a variation and go with the D note right here. Before making these notes more musical, I want to tell you a secret. While you can pick any starting notes, my choices have not been random. The motif and its reflections build a chromatic line. Let me clarify by showing you the actual notes. This is the original motif. Here is the first reflection, and here is the second reflection. You might have heard me say quite a few times, whenever I don't know yet what to do, I start with a chromatic line. Well, this is a perfect example. Anyway, for the most part, I kept the motif and its reflection, with the only exception being this moment when I changed the order of the notes. Let's take a listen. You may already be hearing the tonal center around F But let me make this more obvious by adding some nice harmony beneath it. From here, we can continue and even use the blues form. Fun stuff. After only these few minutes, you already know more about interval reflection than most composers. And now, please implement interval reflections into your writing and see what color they add to your sound. You know how to use the reflection axis and that it's only a guideline. In the end, it's about your unique musical taste. Use interval reflection in any way you want. You are the author. For more resources about interval theory, please check out the description box below. Many thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Best always.